back at it again. Hey, I don't know if this. I don't know what's going on with this, but we got a story today, man. We got MSNBC analyst Michael Nance. He's going to Ukraine to fight for justice. But let's check this out. Let's check this out. The U.S. courts released articles basically saying that, quote, it's not uncommon for Ukrainians to refer to black people as the N word with a hard R-E. So, this where dude is going. Let's see what's going on, because I'm still shocked by this. I'm trying to see what's going on. Talking about he finna go over there and fight for Ukraine. He finna fight Russia.
Issued a new warning to any Americans choosing to travel here to Ukraine, saying the United States is not able to evacuate U.S. citizens from the country, including those U.S. citizens.
CNN is a joke. Is they gonna mention the other warning that is y'all gonna mention the other warning about the black people not coming over there because they get called the N word?
Who travel to Ukraine to
Hard
engage in the ongoing war. In addition to other risks to personal safety, the warning says U.S. citizens should be aware that Russia has stated it intends to treat foreign fighters in Ukraine as mercenaries rather than as lawful combatants. That's worrisome. That warning directed towards people like our next guest, who said he's done talking, he's now chosen to join the fight. He is former Naval Intelligence Officer and former TV analyst as well, Malcom Dance. Malcolm, good to have you on this morning.
Good to see you.
I've had the pleasure to meet a few folks here like you, U.S. veterans who have come over here to risk their lives to help defend Ukraine. And I always ask, why? What's leading you to risk your life to come here?
What is leading you to risk your life to go over there and fight for justice when it's people in America that ain't even get true justice? So it's like, what's really going on? You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear some more of this before I.
You know, I spent 20 years in the armed forces and 16 so years in and out of U.S. intelligence. And, you know, my entire motivation was that I believed in the defense of democracy. I believed in the values that I was raised on as a child of Philadelphia. My family served in the armed forces nonstop since 1864.
You believe in democracy. Your family served 18 since 1864. Well, after 1864, I think that's the Civil War. So basically, after slavery, um, your family continued to fight in wars where democracy wasn't even given to your family. So don't go rely back on your family history when your family was fighting for a democracy that they ain't even receive. Now you following in their footprints. You not about to receive no. What is you gonna receive out of this? You ain't fighting for nothing, man. Come on, man. Stop it.
And when my great-great-grandfather ran away from slavery, he fought for the same values. I
Fought for the values that he didn't. What did he receive? He's fighting for. He didn't fight for his personal values. He fought for his oppressors' value, the people that was oppressing him. Now, by me saying this, I'm not saying like all white people is evil and all. I'm talking about the people that was oppressed. He ran away from slavery. He didn't run away from off of a king's throne. He was a slave when he ran away. Come on.
see those values being threatened here in Ukraine on a
The values is being threatened in Ukraine. When your family that you was just talking about fought since 1865, they didn't even get no values. They didn't get no democracy. They got their houses and their business burned down like in the 1920s heavy. His family fought in World War One, World War Two, burning down black stores, lynching black business owners, building highways through black cities, putting them under lakes. What is this clown talking about? You can tell he a clown.
Strategic scale. Ukraine is now involved with a nation that has sworn they would eliminate it as a culture, as a language, as a people.
As a culture, as a language, as a people. Bro, our culture is here, is being chipped away. We don't even know our original language. What is you talking about, man? He's not even like, come on, man. And he got
friends in the Ukrainian armed forces in the first days of this fight that were begging for their lives, saying they were going to die as the Russians' onslaught came. And I decided I wasn't going to sit here. I wasn't going to sit on television and do analysis anymore. I was going to come and help them. And that's what I'm here to do.
Good for you. Now, it's interesting, Ukrainian officials often characterize it the same way, saying this is a war not just about Ukraine, it is Ukraine fighting for Europe, for the West. Are you willing to die here for this fight?
They fighting for the West. Ukraine ain't fighting for Africa. They ain't fighting for African Americans in America. Is they fighting for the people in Yemen? Like, come on, man.
You know, I get this question all the time. I spent my entire life willing to die for all the democratic values that we espouse in the United States. Our Constitution is the bedrock of many other countries striving for democracy. So, yeah.
It can't be the bedrock. Like, is it the bedrock? Look how we living here. Is it the bedrock for who? Like, you gotta start making differentiations. Who is it the bedrock for? Because
yes, I'm here to put my body between the innocent people of Ukraine and the Russian aggression that we're seeing.
The innocent people of Ukraine that the U.S. courts had to have a press conference and release a news press that Ukrainians commonly call black people the N-word with the hard ER. What is he talking about? Like, come on, man.
Being here. And this isn't a joke to the people who are here in the international region. There are thousands who have come to this country from 52 nations, men and women, U.S. Army veterans, Navy veterans, Japanese, Korean. We have many people here who understand just how existential a threat this is, not just to the Ukrainian culture, but to Western democracy itself. That's why I call on anyone.
How? They never explain how. How is it a threat to us living here in America? Like, they can't even explain it, fam. Like,
from that experience to come and help us. Because this battle, if they lose it here, you're not just losing Ukraine. You're allowing a dictator, a kleptocrat who has been stealing from his own people. You can see he's
stealing from his own people. Black Americans pay taxes and our money go to other countries, but it never goes back to our neighborhood. So how is that not theft from us? We can't even go get loans to this day. Like, so he's fighting to preserve the happiness and the way of life of people who like to refer to black people as the N-word. Like, this dude is just backwards.
What he calls an army, which is really just a horde of people who are stealing, raping, murdering, drinking alcohol, and doing all of these things and being honored for it. This country needs weapon systems that we have. The world is now mobilizing to a system. And yes, every one of us who came here are here for the defense of Ukraine. And if that means our lives, Well, that's what we have sworn our oath for.
You didn't swear your oath to Ukraine, man. What is the fuck? What is you talking about, man? You was not Ukrainian. And besides, they like to refer to people like you as the N word with the hard ER. Like, what is he doing? They gonna
Let
turn
me ask you
into a
this, because
pack.
our last visit here in Ukraine in the early stages of the war, we met with volunteers with a mix of backgrounds. Some of them did have previous combat experience, and I know that the folks vetting volunteers are looking for folks like you, right? I mean, they want folks who've been to war. Are you seeing mostly experienced volunteers there joining the fight, or do you see some who may not belong in this war?
Well, in the organization I belong to, the International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine, we are the foreign fighter force for the armed forces of Ukraine. We are members of the Ukrainian army. We are not, there are a lot of freelancers out here, people who have come here who couldn't get accepted into the Legion, who tried to get in or, weren't accepted, who've just gone on and tried to join territorial defense units and other militias, things like that. They are unlawful combatants on the battlefield. The Legion is a part of the Ukrainian armed forces. We have Geneva Convention rights, ID cards, despite what the Russians say. The Russians aren't going to give anyone any right to life in this country, Geneva Conventions or otherwise. They mass murder civilians. So when we come here, we are coming here legally, lawfully, and working within the parameters of the Army of Ukraine.
It's an important point you make there that the Legion does have those Geneva Conventions. It's official. That said, of course, to your point, not clear the Russians ever consider following those conventions. Malcom Nance, I'm sure a lot of folks watching here agree. We salute the effort and the sacrifice you're making. Thanks for joining us.
Well, it's my pleasure. And Slava Ukraini.
Who is benefiting from the sacrifice? Bro, they had to issue a statement saying blacks traveling to Ukraine be prepared that they commonly refer to black people as N-words with the ER. Why is you trying to say them? They didn't say that that's how the Russians do it. They talk about that's how the Ukrainians look at black people. So he's misled, man. He's very misled, man. Like, hey, I ain't got nothing against, that's between them. I ain't got nothing to do between Russia and Ukraine. Ain't none of them denying me when I go to a bank and go try to take out a loan. Ain't none of them running my license plates when I'm driving down the street, minding my own business. Ain't none of them following me in stores like I'm stealing. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't go to their countries because, like they said, they like to refer to black people as the N-word with the hard ER. So, hey, big ups to dude. He gonna do what he do, but hey, Putin is not playing. He said, y'all come over there, he turning y'all into packs. Y'all seen the last video I did with the dudes from Britain? Now they over there begging for their lives, and they Prime Minister Boris Johnson ain't even trying to help him. Ain't nobody finna help this dude. Biden ain't about to Jim Crow Joe is not about to help this man. But look, man, look. Fastway gang, ski mask, y'all already know what's going on, man. They about to turn this man into a pack. Like, we gonna be smoking on that Lance pack real soon. They gonna make an example out of him. He got that smile on his face. You know, he ain't gonna have that smile on his face too much longer. But hey, y'all already know how we do it, man. Fast way gang.